Don't stop. Don't give up. Don't give up. I know you want to, and I know things are really hard right now. I get it. Don't give up. You are so close. You are so much closer than you realize to the finish line. Keep going. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Joey, and I am a full-time work-from-home, stay-at-home mama, an author, and the person who is here to encourage you to become the main character in your own life. I get it. I know. Things feel so hard right now. They feel much harder than they need to be, and you are suddenly standing here questioning everything. You're questioning everything. You thought you were on the right path. You thought that this was divine. You thought that everything was falling into place, and now suddenly it feels like everything is falling apart. And you're wondering if you should throw in the towel. You're wondering if you were wrong. You're wondering if you are not, in fact, destined to do the thing that you are set out and feeling so passionate about, because literally everything at this point has fallen apart. Can I help you? If this is you right now, if you were running full force down a certain path and you were certain, like you were sure, you felt it in your gut, you had spoken with people that you trust and they confirmed it as well, you were maybe seeing signs and synchronicities that maybe God or the universe or whatever or whomever you believe in was also validating that you were on the right path and doing the right thing, and now suddenly you're questioning all of that because nothing, and I mean nothing, is going the way you thought it would. You are lost and concerned that maybe instead of signs and synchronicities, all that stuff was really just indigestion and you were not in fact correct. Take a breath, because here's the thing. In my experience, I have learned that typically when you are at your very lowest, especially when it comes to a pursuit, when you are at your lowest point, you are just at the cusp of radical change and monumental evolution. You are almost there. You're almost there. So if this is you, if you're questioning everything, let me tell you, there are a few signs to know if the universe is actually testing you. And why would the universe test you? Well, because the thing that you're pursuing, the ask that you have, it's a big one. It's a big ask. And the universe, God, whomever, is making sure that you are absolutely prepared to receive this blessing. So let's take a look at all of the signs that the universe or God or whomever, whatever you believe in, will serve to you when you are being tested. The first sign is that you might actually get a glimpse of this thing, of the life that you want, of the goal that you're trying to accomplish, of the experience you're trying to have, and then it gets suddenly taken away. And you might be thinking, well, what the heck? Like, if it's meant for me and I'm on the right path, why on earth would it be dangled in front of me only to be yanked out of my grasp? And I can speak from absolute experience with this one. Such experience that it's actually nauseating. But I do believe it was a test, and now I understand a year later why it happened and what I need and want to do with that information. But that's just it. If the universe is dangling this thing in front of you, if the universe has basically given you a glimpse, it's given you a bit of a taste, right, of what this next thing is going to be like for you, and then yanks it out of your grasp, it is trying to prepare you. You are needing to learn something. You are needing to have something revealed to you. There's no way that the information could come across to you in a way that's going to be more meaningful than for it to be revealed directly to you and an experience that you have yourself. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but we've all been in school, we've all been in jobs where there's been a mentor or a boss or someone who's trying to just dictate information to you, and there's a bit of resistance if you don't fully understand why you need to know what you need to know or what the point of something is. And the best way to learn anything is from your own experience. And a lot of times that's how it will be served to you, is that you'll be given this thing, whatever it is, whether it's love or a job or success in a business or whatever it is. It can be anything. You'll be given just a glimpse of it, and then it'll be taken away from you. And it's because it is trying to reveal to you that there is more that you need need to prepare. I don't know if you know my story at all. This time last year, I lost my job. I was a breadwinning mama. I'd published a book 9 years before, and a TikTok video went viral, and it changed my entire life. I went from being an author that had sold maybe 100 copies in 9 years to an overnight Amazon best-selling author with a loyal audience of people demanding that I continue to write more books. And it was wonderful, and it was overwhelming, and it revealed a whole heck of a lot that I need to learn if I'm going to continue to run down the path of being an indie author. There are so many things that I just was not at all prepared for when all of that went down last spring, that now, should that kind of success come my way again, I have things in place to make sure that I am able to maintain that type of capacity. It was something that I needed to learn. I had never experienced anything like that before, but I am certainly prepared to experience it again now. Okay, the second sign, which is very similar to the first, but a little bit different, is that the universe or God or whatever, it will give you a taste of the thing that you're asking for. It will give you a taste of the success. It'll give you a glimpse of how it feels to be in love or find the right partner or achieve a certain goal. The whole point of it, the whole point of you receiving that little glimpse, that little taste, is for the universe to observe how you handle it. That's really all it's trying to do. For instance, let's say your blessing that you're asking for is you want to make $100,000 a year, and you're given a job opportunity, offers you $40,000 a year. And your first few paychecks come in, you blow all your cash, you're in debt, you don't have a budget, you haven't set up any of the things with your HR as far as a 401k or any type of life insurance or any of those things, any of the responsible things that you're supposed to do. And God or the universe or whomever is looking at this and is like, if you can't be responsible with a salary of $40,000, why would I offer you a salary of $100,000? You first need to learn how to handle the small blessings before we deliver the big blessing. And this is not a punishment kind of thing. This is not a you don't deserve it kind of thing. You are inherently worthy of the big blessing. That's not the issue here. You are inherently worthy. In fact, you have to think of God or the universe or whomever like a parent who loves you so much. And I did not understand this analogy until I became a parent. I have a very complicated relationship with the idea of parenting and all of that until I became a parent myself. And if my son wanted or needed anything, I would do everything in my power to make sure that he got whatever it was that he wanted or needed. That's just how providing for someone and something that you love so much works. That's how it is with the universe and God. This is not an issue of you having to prove your worthiness. This is making sure that you are fully equipped to handle the big blessing, to enjoy it, to make it last, to have it be something that actually comes into your life and stays into your life long term. That it's not something that when it enters into your life causes you a lot of stress and strife and you're overwhelmed and unsure how to handle it, because with big blessings come big responsibilities, and you first have to learn what it is that you need to know in order to handle that type of blessing. So you might have been given a glimpse of something, little thing that is related to the thing that you want, and it's suddenly gone. And you think to yourself, well, that's the sign, right? Like, that's the sign that this isn't meant for me because it came and now it went. Think again. And if you didn't handle it right the first time, don't fret. Don't sit here and think, oh my gosh, I blew all that money, or I quit that job, or I did this thing. That's okay. You will continue to be served the same lesson over and over again until you learn it, especially if it's the thing that is meant for you. Because a good piece of advice that I received recently is if it is for you, you cannot mess it up. And if it is not meant for you, you cannot make it work. Okay, the third sign that you're being tested is that you are currently in an extremely challenging situation. In fact, you might be in a situation right now that you feel completely hopeless in. You might not have any idea how you're going to make anything work. You might have no idea which direction you're supposed to go in. You might be worrying about how you're going to pay your bills, or where you're going to live, or if a relationship is about to end. You are in a tough spot. And a lot of times people look at that as a sign that they're going sideways, right? Everything you thought you wanted is crashing and burning and nothing is working and you feel completely and utterly hopeless. And you're sitting here thinking, Joey, how the heck could this possibly be a sign that I'm on the right path? How could that possibly be a sign that you're on the right path? Well, I'll tell you this, my friend. I have experienced that low a number of times in my life. It's hard to relive them, and because I journal, I have very clear documentation of every single one of those dark, deep pits that I've been in. And it is so just the proof of God's love, of the universe's love, to look back on those now and know exactly what happened in the days, weeks after that. Because it's, again, one of those situations where you're just staring up at the sky, begging to whomever will listen to you for something to change, for a sign, for clarity, for help, for comfort, anything, a sign that anything is right. Everything typically has to fall apart before the pieces can rearrange to build the life that you're trying to build. This a lot of times might look like losing a job or losing a friendship or a partner. It might mean that you lose your house or you're living in a rental and your landlord is selling and you have to move away from the home that you love so much, right? A lot of times this is what that looks like. There was a period of my life where my husband and I were living in my mother's attic. I was as depressed could come. I could not understand why we were there. I didn't want to be there. It was just a season of life that was changing and we needed like a soft place to land before we figured out where we were going to next. And everything fell apart. Everything went sideways. And within, I'd say from the time that I wrote the journal entry begging God to like rescue me to the time that everything had changed was maybe 60 days. And when I tell you everything changed, I mean, it was complete 180. If I was as deep and dark as life had ever been, I was as high as you could ever be within 60 days. Everything a lot of times has to fall apart before it's gonna fall together. And it's just making room. It's just making space. It's just rearranging the pieces and making sure that everything that is currently in your life is something that is worthy of taking with you into this next season. I know that sounds crazy to sit here and tell you that if you are in a seriously challenging situation, that's actually a sign that the universe is testing you to bless you beyond belief. But I'm telling you from experience, I've honestly experienced this no less than 5 times. It's honestly to a point where when things start to go a little bit sideways in our house, that my husband and I look at each other and we get a little bit excited because we know something huge is about to become part of our lives. We are about to experience some type of monumental change or some type of windfall or something beautiful that we couldn't have orchestrated ourselves. I promise you, it will get better. It will get better. You have to stay the course. You have to stay committed. You have to stay focused. The other thing that's important to know about the reason you're experiencing this super challenging situation is because it's God's way or the universe's way of making sure that you recognize that you are actually capable. A lot of times when you're in a seriously challenging situation, you sit here and you have to kind of give yourself this pep talk of like, okay, well, the only way through it is through it. So you put your big girl or boy panties on and you just run through the fire until your legs give out. And you end up on the other side, you turn around, you look behind you and you're like, oh my goodness, I did it. I am actually capable of doing this thing. And a lot of times what that point is, what the purpose of that is making sure that you are fully equipped with all of the skills and lessons necessary to really enjoy and have success in whatever the next season of your life is going to be. It's also an opportunity for you to start thinking outside of the box, because a lot of times a seriously challenging situation is really here to offer you an opportunity to divorce yourself from old patterns, of old beliefs, of old perspectives, because guess what? what you've known all your life and what you've been doing all your life at this point clearly is no longer serving you. It's not going to get you from point A to point B anymore. And so you're forced to think outside of the box and get creative and start relying on new ways and new skills of getting you through to the next day, to the next stage. And that allows you to fully abandon patterns and habits that have been holding you back all this time. Okay, the fourth sign that you're being tested is that you will come in contact with either someone or someones who are trying to rain on your parade. We'll call these the haters, or like the naysayers. These are the people that you very excitedly share all of your new plans with, and they pretty much make you feel like you are a piece of garbage and the dumbest thing to walk this earth to even think for a millisecond that you could make this thing happen, that you will find the love of your life on a dating show, or you will be able to finish the book that you're writing and become an author that is a bestseller, or that you're going to be able to sell one of your song singles to a record label and become a huge pop star. Whatever it is, whatever you're looking to accomplish or experience in your life, these are the people that come in and basically make you feel like garbage. And you might be thinking, why the heck do any of us have to deal with these people? And how could this possibly be a sign that you're being tested? Well, my friend, whatever it is that you are looking to experience in your life, whatever this thing is, I can guarantee you it's going to take dedication and commitment to continue to experience it. So a lot of times, God, the universe, whomever, will send these naysayers to you to test how committed you really are, and to test your faith in yourself, your faith in the universe, God, whomever you believe in, to make sure that you are fully invested and ready for this thing to come into your life. This is also how you're tested on how focused you can remain. Because if you easily get distracted or you easily get discouraged by people, especially people who have absolutely no bearing on your life whatsoever, obviously when people that you truly love and care about and who you believe truly love and care about you have something negative to say, a lot of times it's important to really actually take some of what they're saying to heart. Don't let it discourage you, but a lot of times they'll be giving you some type of critical information to help you be prepared. This is not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here are the people who are just blindly spewing hate and discouragement your way. When that happens, you're being tested to see how focused you can remain. Because if you allow those things to distract you, if you end up finding yourself laying in bed at night thinking over and over again about the hateful comment you got on TikTok, or you're worrying about the coworker who said something nasty behind your back as you were walking into the break room and you accidentally heard it, if you're letting yourself focus and percolate on those thoughts over and over again, God or the universe or whomever is going to take that as a sign that you are not quite ready. You have to get to a place where you can remain focused at all costs. You are not going to be deterred. You will not be stopped. You will not be discouraged. So use these things as an opportunity. When you see these things happening, if you start to experience that kind of hate, treat it like a game. Duck, block, just keep ducking. I was not great at dodgeball as a kid, so I don't know how well I'd do at this, but just let it go past you. Don't even give them a second of your time. Don't let them take any part of your focus away from whatever it is that you're trying to do. Okay, the fifth and final sign that you are being tested is that you are experiencing some kind of loss. And again, I can speak from true experience here on a number of different levels. It's hard to understand how experiencing loss could potentially be setting you up for something beautiful to come into your future, but I can assure you that it is. Again, it's like the situation where you're being given like the tiny glimpse, the tiny taste of what you want coming into your life, and then it's removed. In this case, you're being observed in how you handle this type of loss, number one, how you allow it to impact your life, whether you use it as fuel or you use it to bury deeper into the hole of despair. I'm not talking about the healthy level of grieving here, because that's necessary under all circumstances, whether it's a loss of a loved one or a loss of a job, loss of a home, whatever it is. You're allowed to have those moments of just being sad and scared and worried. You're allowed to experience all of those feelings. But what I'm talking about here is not unpacking and living there. right? That you have your eyes set on the horizon of the future and can use this opportunity to see how whatever it is that you have lost has made space in your life for whatever is meant to be coming into your life. A lot of times we have to make room. We have to make room. And it's not uncommon to experience some type of pretty big loss before you start to experience that thing that you're looking to experience. I mean, good grief, heaven almighty. I never in my entire life thought that losing my very steady job would be the thing that set me onto a path of living the life that I've always wanted to live. But again, when I lost my job, I didn't have a choice but to act because I was terrified. And so because I had my knees knocked out from underneath me, the only way I could catch myself was to leap. Right? That was the only choice I had. So a lot of times your safety net is yanked from underneath you, your safe person is yanked from underneath you, whatever it is that you're experiencing, whatever kind of loss you're experiencing, use this as an opportunity to see how it's potentially setting you up for a successful future and how you can use that to propel yourself forward. Okay, you guys, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I'm so appreciative of you guys hanging out with me every single week. I'm sorry that this video is a little late this week. Life got a little bit in the way. So anyway, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you understanding and being patient. And if you liked this video, which I hope that you did, please consider sticking around, subscribe, like the video, leave me a comment below and let me know if you're experiencing any of these signs and if you really feel like you might be right on the cusp of the life that you want. And again, until next time, I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Bye.